Good afternoon. I'm Debbie with the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we are out at H&S Manufacturing this afternoon. With me is Ron Zygarlicke, and H&S Manufacturing was also one of MACCI's Friend of Ag nominee this year, and we wanted to come out and just showcase them during our Dairy Strong Week. So Ron, you are the Product and Sales Manager?
Product and Marketing Manager.
Product and Marketing Manager here at H&S, and you've been here a long time because as long as I've been at the Chamber, you have been my go-to for Dairy Fest. So I know that Ron has cooked eggs for us at the Dairy Fest breakfast for many, many years. If anybody wants the recipe, he's your man, right? No, he's been sworn to secrecy.
Yes.
In fact, his tongue is red because he cannot talk about it, right? But H&S truly has been around 53 years. This is, 53 years you guys have been here in Marshfield. You have been really a staple in our community. Long time. And I look at the brochures that you have here with all your different items you manufacture. I remember when it was manure spreader and chopper boxes.
Yeah.
When did you do all the other stuff? Talk a little bit about your product line.
Well, you know, you're right. We started out basically back in 1967 with forage boxes. And manure spreaders came shortly after that, about 5 years after, in 1972, right around that area. And we just kind of were steady at that point, and we had some other things like bale racks and some of the other little things like that. But I want to get around to the middle 80s. And it was basically when the Heikkinen family that currently owns H&S Manufacturing, because the H stands for Heikkinen and the S is for Steinberg. People always ask, what does H&S stand for? And it was around that time that the Heikkinen family did purchase everything from Steinberg family. So it seems like at that time things started to grow and we took off and really took off into the early 90s. And we just had a lot of products that we started introducing at that point, hiring more engineers, technology, you know, obviously started to grow and grow and grow. And yeah, we are actually right now, we currently ship around the world. We're not just in the Midwest, we're all over the world. We containerize our products and they go everywhere.
That's cool. That is cool. Okay, so the S, I have never heard that name because I've always heard Shaner. When did the Shaner come into this?
Well, Ted Shaner was actually the first employee of Lori Heikkinen.
Oh, okay.
So,
a little bit of history here, folks. Yes. Quiz afterwards. Win a free manure spreader, right?
No. So, yes.
Not that you're full of it or anything.
No. I mean, I could, okay. We'll just continue on. But yes, Ted was the first one here, and so that's where the Shaner name came from. So, but no, it was Heikkinen and Steinberg.
Interesting. You know, a lot of people often ask, what does the H&S stand for? So I know the Heikkinen, but I've always said Shaner.
Yeah, and Shaner you know, Ted was very, he was out in the community a lot, and so that's, you know, the assumption that it was, and because he was a general manager and he did a lot of stuff for H&S and helped us get where we are today.
He really was that face out in the community.
Yes.
All of my years, I always knew Ted. Good man, very nice man. Yeah.
Yes.
So how many people do you employ?
Depends, but on the average between, we have the main facility here in Marshfield, Wisconsin, and then we have an engineering facility, R&D, that type of stuff, and all our lasers, all our productions, that type of stuff is all over in Clintonville, Wisconsin. And then we have a warehouse out in Ripley, New York. So between the three facilities, we employ right around 200 people. Okay. Sometimes higher, depending on, right now, we're looking to hire.
Okay.
The guys have, the way things are right now with the milk prices on the rise, our guys are running some overtime out there right now. So, and that's a good thing. We love to see this in the midst of what's happening like that. So, yeah, we're really excited with that, and there's a lot of things on the horizon for us, new products and whatnot. So,
That's exciting to
Yeah.
hear. I know we've been out here the last couple of years for our leadership group. We were going to come out in March, and then this thing called COVID hit. So we never did get out here, but you guys give a fabulous tour, and it's so cool to see your new paint area, and I mean, it's just really, it's quite the operation. You've got it down to a science, but good to know you're hiring, and people can go online to actually apply. Okay, are you running 2 shifts or 1 shift?
Yeah, we are actually on 2 shifts right now at both facilities, either in the Clintonville facility or in the Marshville facility. So, we
Male, female, we do
both.
Both. Okay. Well,
We
women
have
are darn
one of
good
our
workers. You know that.
Well, one of our top welders is a lady.
I've heard women are we're very precise. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I have to tease you a little bit.
Oh, yes.
I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
So tell me, what is your number 1 item that you manufacture? What is your number 1 seller?
Number 1 seller is actually manure spreaders.
There is a lot of crap in the world. You betcha. That doesn't surprise me. No, but I think, don't you think, because that was one of your initial things, that's what people...
Yes, and when you look at that, so if I look at, I'm going to go take this 2 different ways. Our number 1 seller, dollar-wise, is manure spreaders.
Okay.
I'm correct in saying that. The number 1 thing that we have in volume-wise, number-wise, is rakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are known, we are actually the number 1 rake manufacturer in North America.
Wow, I did not know that. I would have thought maybe chopper box. No.
No, with the way that the farming is going, you're seeing the numbers come down on forge boxes, chopper boxes, or whatever. Dollars are staying up because what's happening is, as we know from the little 14 and 16 foot chopper boxes from years ago, what do you see out there now? Now you've got semi-trailers, these big straight bed trucks. Dollar-wise, yes, there's a lot of dollars, but the numbers, no, you don't have that kind of numbers. And these guys that are running, the farmers that are running the semis, the straight beds, etc., they may be taking care of 2, 3, and 4 farmers or more. It just depends on where. We've got talking to one gentleman that we do some testing with, and he said we've got some prototype stuff that we're working with him on, and he is going, actually, he lives over in eastern Wisconsin, and he is going to Missouri as a custom harvester, to chop.
Oh, okay.
All the way from Wisconsin, eastern Missouri, or eastern Wisconsin, all the way down to Missouri to do this type of stuff. So he's all over the place doing this stuff, and it's really, there's a wide scale in the U.S. out there when you think about it. I've been all around. It shows, and you go to California as an example, and you may think that we're big here on forage on some things as a custom harvester, where these guys may have 3, 4, 5 harvesters, big choppers, the big harvesters like that. Whereas you go out to California and you've got guys that are running 20 of these big $500,000 each harvesters, along with all the forge boxes or semi boxes, straight bed boxes that gotta go along with that, and that could be as many as 100.
Wow.
So, I mean,
so manufacturing wise, from start to finish, it's all done here. From start to putting it on that truck and shipping it where it needs to go.
yes.
What kind of time frame are people looking at?
Depends on the time of the year. There may be times of the year, for example, I'm going to use right now as an example, that we may be down on some of the manure spreader models, because typically a manure spreader time is like starting in the fall and running through the winter. That's when farmers use manure spreaders. Right now you see a lot of forge boxes and stuff like that being manufactured because it's that time of the year.
Makes sense.
Rakes and whatnot. We try to manufacture most of the rakes that we can in the winter time, and for shipping starting in early in the year normally, because that way it gets into a dealership, they get them set up and get ready to go. So, but there may be times a year where, like I said, right now, we may be out of a certain model of manure spreader because we just aren't manufacturing those right now, because we have to manufacture the forage boxes to keep up with the demand that you have out there. So, and especially when, like I say, when you get the demand where milk prices are up, they're going to spend the money.
So you work with, I'm assuming, many implement dealers to sell your product. Someone can't walk in here and talk to Kim and say, I want to order a manure spreader.
No, actually we have, it's how it's set up with H&S is we're throughout the whole United States and Canada, but there's various ways. If I could cut diagonal from Dakotas down to Florida, basically in that northeastern half, I guess you'd call it, we go manufacture direct to a dealer. Okay. No different than what General Motors or Ford or anybody goes directly to the auto the dealers that they have. There's some areas in that other portion of the southwestern portion of the U.S. we have what we call distributors. Distributors have their own dealer organization within themselves. So we sell directly to one person or distributor that may be covering 2, 3, 4 states, and sometimes maybe more, but they have their own dealers set up within their organization. So it's two different ways. Why don't we do it that way? It depends on the market and what is out there. When you go southwest, a lot of it's just rakes. Okay. When you're up in the Midwest and out east, it's basically everything that we manufacture around here. That if it's manure spreaders, if it's forage boxes, rakes, you name it, because we're based off of dairy. That's how H&S. It's always been kind of a dairy farmer, but we're so diversified in what we manufacture because we can manufacture things that are used on a hog farm, on a cattle ranch. We've got guys that, it's kind of funny, we've got grinder mixers that we manufacture, and I'm trying to remember, I thought they said he was grinding some feed for emus or something like that. I mean, so it's just
whatever the demand is, you can, so they can come to you, and say, hey, we're looking for this type of product. Can you help us put something together so we can harvest, our crops and feed this?
And it's funny you mention it that way, because through these last couple of years, obviously hemp has taken a big rise on things. And so with hemp, they need those forage boxes built a certain way, how they harvest their hemp. So it's not the typical, like your regular guy or whatever, they have a different harvester, okay? So we have gotten kind of hit with that, and developing the forage boxes, a little different design for those people like that.
Those specialty items, huh?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
But that's amazing that we have you, and we've had you for 53 years to be able to do this, or you wouldn't have stayed in business all these years, would you?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for all you do, H&S Manufacturing. Like I said, you've been strong supporters of our organization at the Chamber for many, many years. You've been an amazing volunteer, you personally, and we're going to get Kim involved now, and Pam, and there's so many names here that truly have come out and helped support Dairy Fest through the years, so thank you guys for that. And we should have brought a mug. We got mugs for you, because from the very beginning, I think you have been our Dairy Fest mug sponsor, and yesterday at the breakfast, we had them out on the table, and they were the red, and so very appropriate. But thank you for all you do for our organization, and congratulations on being a nominee for MACCI's Friend of Ag Award.
Thank you very much.